How's it going, Untapped family? It's your buddy, David Williams. No mask today, no glamorous intro. I'm just here, I guess I want to talk about me. I'm being selfish today. I just want to let you guys know a little bit into what I've gone through to become the man that I am today. And, I've noticed, or I've learned lately, just during this whole quarantine and everything that's going on. I had a lot of time to reflect on certain things in my life, things I wish I had a chance to talk about with some peoples who are no longer with us at the moment. And so it's going to be a little solo act, no guest, but we do have JMKM on the board. So he'll be here to, guide me through this, help me out, ask a few questions if he wants. If I'm bitching up too much, he's going to let me know. So
You're good. What's up, everybody? Thank you for having me, D. Will.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for being here. I definitely appreciate you for this. But so I'm just going to go ahead and dive in to everything. And like I said, 2020's been a hell of a year, right?
Man, and I feel like it's just started. Like
Right.
a
For
lot
real.
more around the corner. I feel like I can't wait for the season finale.
For real. How's quarantine been treating you?
It's been good. A lot of time to reflect, similar to like what you're saying. Like this is just causing everybody to look at things a little bit different, and it's been a
Most
challenge,
definitely.
but so far so good. They say.
Hey, glad to hear. Glad to hear everything's going well on your end. My end has been it's been I guess eye opening. You know what I mean? I got a little big bowl of things going on. Got some depression with a little bit of heartbreak, a little bit of low self esteem. Sprinkling some cinnamon, you got yourself a nice little son of a bitch cake right there. You know what I mean? It's like but it's all for reasons, and I definitely think that what's going on is to help me heal, past things that I've been holding on to for a long time, and then that, quite frankly, I just need to release. And I'm gonna start off the conversation, just addressing my parents. I think a lot of my depression right now is coming up because we're reaching the 2-year anniversary of my mom's passing, and it's the 11-year anniversary of the passing of my dad. And like I said, I want to start this off by telling people that whatever I have to say, I still love and respect my parents. I just wish that I took the time to talk to them about this while they were still here. And that's definitely one of the biggest regrets that I have currently in my life at the moment. But we'll start off with the trigger of what got this going was some heartbreak. You know what I mean? I cared for somebody, a woman that I never got the chance to tell because I didn't feel like I was good enough to be with her. And I made the mistake of putting her on a pedestal. And, when you put somebody on a pedestal, you idolize them, you treat them as a goal and not a person. And I built this fantasy in my head of this man that I have to be able to approach her as somebody that she'd be interested in. And when you live in fantasies, the real world keeps moving forward. So I kind of wish, I just was capable of telling her my emotions when I felt them. Go ahead.
Were you presented with the opportunity to like tell her?
You know what? I feel like I was. I feel like I was a few different times, but it was just like I said. I just didn't feel like I was good enough, and we'll jump. I'm not gonna get into too many details of that situation because I the the main part of it is I feel like this incident or what happened here, whether whether what she was supposed to be in my life to be, somebody like a lover or whatnot, or if she was meant to be in my life for me to start my journey into healing. And whatever it is, I appreciate her for that. And I've been seeing a therapist lately, and my therapist was telling me that I'm very withdrawn into myself, and I definitely need to open up. So I want to open up on a public platform because I feel like a lot of people deal with the situation I'm dealing with in my life, and it's not a lot of talk about it, especially from young men or just men in general. But like I said, there's things that I wish I talked about with my parents before they passed, and I built up this resentment towards them because of how they I guess how they handle certain situations in my life, and I don't get that opportunity to tell them in person. I wish things were different, but I just I've lost a lot of opportunities. I guess it's just I'm fed up with it now. And I just want to talk about it. But as a kid, for since I was 7 or 8 years old, I'm 34 now. But when I was 8, I was molested twice, multiple times by two different people. One, a family member, and another one, the daughter of a family friend.
Mhm.
And excuse me,
Yeah, good man. Take your time.
for sure. And the one with the family member was with their cousin. Uh, like I said, I was 8 years old, and there wasn't any action taken behind it. What I mean, I didn't get any justice behind what happened. I remember one time, it was probably a few months later, my cousin he got shot. He's still alive though. And I remember driving to the hospital with my mom and my sister, and they were talking about it. And I told my mom, I was like, I'm glad he got shot. I hope he dies. And she pulled over the car. She asked me, why would I say something like that? And I was like, because of what happened to me, what he did to me. And she didn't think I remembered it. And she was upset about that. And she literally looked at me and she's like, you're not supposed to remember that. I want you to forget. And
Mm.
as a kid, it's like that's your mom. You gotta listen to your mom. But it's something that you could never forget. You know what I mean? Because especially as you get older and you understand what happened to you. Somebody who was supposed to be the adult in a situation who had a power and abused that power. You realize what really happened. As you get older. And I don't want to say my mother, I don't believe she took the right action behind that. I don't know if something happened to her as a kid or, she thought that was the only way she could protect me.
Right.
But I, I've carried that with me for 26 years. And for 26 years, I feel like I've been breathing dirty air off of it because when you have to go to a family function or you have to go to this person's house or you have to do family reunions and you have to, you know, put this smile on and embrace this person and act like nothing happened, it eats away at your soul. It really does. You, I was angry. I like even as a kid, I used to fight a lot at school for no reason. I would pick fights with people just to do it because I was mad. I was
Right.
I was upset with everybody around me, and I think a lot of that, is due to that situation. And to fast forward, I think maybe a year or two later, I was molested again by the daughter of a family friend. That situation, I never told anybody about, and that's because I thought I had to forget. I'm not supposed to remember, these things. So those are things that I've been walking around with for a very long time now, like a really long time.
Yeah.
And I guess just 2020's just been that year when everything just you know snowballed in back to back to back to back incidents, and I think it was this heartbreak was like that final crack in the dam, and I just for 2 weeks straight I was in a deep deep depression, um, and I really didn't know where I was in my life, or if I was doing everything or anything right in my life. Um, it's I think I think for a long time I've been playing the part of being a normal person,
Yeah.
and it's when you talk about stuff like this to people, I've talked to a few close friends about it, and they tell me, you gotta figure out who you are. You gotta figure out who David is, what are you about, and I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I've been playing this role of what I think a normal person is supposed to do
Right.
for so long. It's just like I don't know if I'm if I'm still acting it or if I'm really trying to figure out who I am.
Right.
And it's like sitting in a dark room and you just got to pick a direction and walk that direction, but you don't know if you're gonna hit a wall or if you're gonna hit a door or if you're just gonna keep wandering. And I guess I want to open up because I want to get help and figure out answers or figure out a direction or figure out whatever it is I need to figure out to be happy at the end of the day, because I've been filled with a lot of resentment, a lot of anger, a lot of low self-esteem. My weaknesses and my shortcomings have been, you know, I feel like they've gotten stronger in me, and I just need to figure things out. And and not everything's on my mom. Like I said, I think she did what she thought she had to do to protect me.
Right.
But at the end, my mom, she did everything for me and my sister. She provided for us.
Right.
She worked multiple jobs to hold us down, and I love her for that. But I don't think she gave me the protection I needed at that age, or gave me the protection I needed that I that I really needed. You know what I mean? When it comes to my dad, he's my dad. I,
Right.
I love him. I love him. He did what he could do for me. He tried to be there as much as he could. A weekend father. Tried to do Sundays with me. Not every Sunday was possible though. but he wasn't a good man. He wasn't a good man at all. He was verbally and physically abusive, uh, more verbally abusive towards me, more physical towards my mom and my sister.
Yeah.
Me and my sister got two different dads, and I've seen him say and do things to them that has left an imprint on me for life. And I've seen him pull knives out on my mom. I've seen him, throw Christmas presents away that my sisters got. Just I don't know, man. I feel like I'm afraid because these things that happen, they obviously left an imprint on me. And I guess my biggest fear is I'm gonna turn out like my dad. I'm gonna turn out like that cousin. And I'm aware that this was it's this the statistics of things. A lot of people do end up being, you know, the bad people they are because of things that happen to them.
Right.
And I've been working my just working my whole life to not be that. You know what I mean? And I've seen or not I've seen, but I'm sorry, I just lost my focus right there. But
You're good. You're just
yeah,
saying like how you're trying not to become a statistic in the sense of people that have these
right,
experiences.
right, and I've come to find out that on my mother's side, there's been a lot of incidents like that going on, and I want to break that cycle. You know what I mean? I don't. Out of everybody on my mom's side of the family, I think me and my sister, we the ones who came out the best because we've worked to get our degrees, our college degrees. We've worked to be good people, and but there's always that idea. It's like I do find this person that I want to love or I want to be with. Is that mentality that my dad had going to kick in? You know what I mean? Am I going to be? Am I my father's son?
Right.
Is that going to be? Is that my future? And that's something. When when I met this woman, that's something I was afraid of too, because her energy was something that made me feel comfortable, and I've never really felt comfortable around a woman like that.
Right.
And like the things I've gone through as a kid, I was sexually active at a young age. I was sexually active at 12, 13 years old. And to me, sex is an action to me. It's not much emotion in my mind. It's just something that I do, or
Right.
that happens to me. And I was afraid that I would bring that. Oh well, I'm not even going like because I don't even know if the feelings are mutual. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how afraid I was to let her know. But I was afraid that if they were mutual, that I couldn't be that emotional support if she needed it.
Because you were not sure
And
how to support her
right,
emotionally.
right, you know what I mean? Because these people, they tainted my outlook on touch, on sex, on emotions and love, and now I'm trying to get that back. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out how, I guess, in a sense, how to reverse that and how to, you know, learn how to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I said, it's I'm not used to talking about my feelings like this.
Right.
I ain't even on front. I'm very uncomfortable right now. doing this. I know I keep laughing, but that's my nervous trigger, and it's I feel lost right now, and I just want to see if I could find a way to figure out where I'm at and where I want to be. And I don't know, man.
I think just by verbalizing it too, do you feel like not necessarily better because that's not I don't think that's a fair but like, oh, do you feel better? It's more so do you feel different, whether it's good or bad, uncomfortable, relieved, up looking forward or being triggered. Do you feel different from how you're feeling when you weren't like verbalizing it to anybody?
Um, yeah, uh, I do. It does feel. I feel like there's a weight being lifted off of me every time I talk about it. I've been, like I said, I've talked about it to a few friends right now, and it's a mixing pot of emotion. I'm not going to front because every time I talk about it, I get angry and then I get sad, and then I just get fucking in my head and try to fantasize a different world and try to get out of it. But then, I feel like that's just me trying to run from my issues.
Right.
And, it's, I gotta, I guess I gotta grow up. You know what I mean? At some point, I gotta fucking bite the bullet and just take it head on. But at the moment, it's an open wound. You know what I mean? It's still
Right.
open to me. And, I feel bad for resenting my parents, but at the same time, I can't help it. If that makes sense. Like, 'cause like I said, I just feel like on those situations, the ball was dropped, and maybe I don't know what they went through in their lifetime growing up, but maybe they thought it was the best move.
Yeah.
My dad never knew about the molestation thing, but even with the whole, abusiveness on his end, I don't know what he went through as a child. I don't know if his dad. I never knew my grandfathers on either side, so I didn't know
Right.
what went on with them or whatnot. But yeah,
It was. I would say it's like definitely a different time as well. Just we're taught to like in like certain cultures, like you don't bring that to the table. And I
yeah,
think I think as when you're a parent, like I could tell you on my end, just like speaking as a parent, I second guess a lot, as far as like decisions that my partner and I make with our son, like things, just the concept of raising a human being and dealing with their emotions and going through things that it's hard
yeah,
to tell, and I can say that like if there's like a high chance that your mom resented her own decision down the line, or I mean we don't know,
right,
so it's easy to say like even I don't think you resent them. I think you could be like upset with yourself too, to be like I could have, like you said, I could have had a chance to bring this up, and maybe she would have said, son, I'm sorry that,
right,
but I'm proud of you for what you've done, and look at what like you've done a lot of really impactful things for yourself and for the community, and a lot of that could be you trying to find your place, and I think that's okay. I think when you do things and you try to put on and try to um, like deflect how you're really feeling, I do think it does become part of how you're really feeling. You said earlier like you're not sure if it's real or if you're just putting on.
yeah,
um, and I think that's okay for you to second guess yourself, and I think it's okay for you to realize that you can change. Like you could grow and adapt over time. And in the beginning, it might have been, a mechanism to like cope with your feelings and what you've been through as a young adult into adulthood. But I think it's okay to realize too that like, no, I have changed for the better, and you know what I'm saying. And like you said,
Right, right.
like you said something earlier about like it kind of feels like you're like in a dark room and you're just like pushing forward without like it's kind of like a sense of direction.
Yeah,
I think like one thing I took from that is like you have you know how they say like the blind they have a better sense of smell or a better sense of hearing, or like when
yeah,
you lose one sense other senses become stronger. And I
right.
think you both you might have felt like you lost something and that's why you feel like in that dark room, but you've you've gone through this experience. I think that like you can kind of hold like great pride in being a survivor and not going down that path thus far. I know you're afraid to know how you're going to emotionally connect with a partner, you're afraid to know if you have these tendencies, but you know, you're a good dude, bro. So like I think you can have confidence in knowing that like this is more of a I'm a survivor situation, and your voice, even this, like if you decide to put this out and people hear this, I think you also take great pride in knowing that like you, you shouldn't feel resentment within yourself because this is going to inspire a lot of people, and it's really something that like is showing more so a great strength within you, like it's never too late. It's been 26 years or whatever you said,
Yeah,
but you've also done a lot of positive things, bro. Like you've done things in your life to help people. You've done things in life to help yourself by getting like a lot healthier and prolonging your life so that way you could have more of an impact. And it might not happen when you're 27, it might not happen when you're 37, but um,
right.
I don't know.
It's
Not to
just
like not to gas you up, but
no, I get you. I definitely appreciate it. It's just I appreciate it. I need to learn how to I need to learn how to build or have self compassion. Um, that's something that my therapist brought up with me, because I guess the way I talk, it's like I said, I have a lot of anger in me, and I've always had it in me, and I think I lash it out at myself the most because you know it's easiest. It's easy to to put it on me instead of somebody else, and not saying that anybody else deserves it, but it's just I'm around me, so it's easier to just be angry at me. And one of the things that we talked about was for a long time I've always blamed myself for what happened, and it's because I always felt like I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't good enough to get myself out of situations. But she told me, to my therapist, she told me that I was young, I was a kid. What I mean, what could I do? And one of the exercises that she wants me to do is, kind of when I speak to myself as if I was a kid, that age when these things went on.
mm,
And it's still hard.
yeah.
It's still hard, it's I don't know. I guess I just gotta learn how to have compassion for myself, but um, need to figure out where to start.
Yeah. And I think you're doing that by you talking to somebody, doing this. Is this like new to you, having a therapist, and what sparked you to go that route?
Uh, like I said, this whole incident with the heartbreak, I think that was just the final crack. And when I was in that funk I was in a funk for about 3 weeks. My sister, she called me. She didn't know what was going on. She just knew I was depressed, and she was the one who told me maybe I should reach out to a therapist. And because I've always been afraid to talk to therapists, dude. Because I used to think they'll hypnotize you and believe in shit that you don't believe, and all that jazz, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sister, she told me maybe I should reach out because she had some therapy work done when our mom passed away, and I've done 2 3 sessions with this lady, and it's uh it's relieving to talk to somebody about it, but at the same time, it's like how much am I willing to put into it? You know what I mean? It's again, it's on me. It's like I want to be open as possible
Yeah.
to anybody who wants to ask me anything. And I think this is how I want to do it. I just I want to be as honest as I can be moving forward about any and everything moving forward. Whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's artist to artist, whether it's friend stuff. It's
Yeah.
I'm tired of like I said earlier, I'm tired of playing the part of being this normal person. I just want to just let it all go, or let it all open. Let it all be open right now. I'm currently experimenting with touch, the sense of touch. And what I'm doing is I'm refraining from touching or having physical contact with anybody because, like I said earlier, I think the idea for touch, for me at least, was warped the day these people abused their power on me. And what I want to do is, because I believe touch is a powerful sense, I want to see if I can refrain from physical contact so I can figure out how to truly appreciate it too. You know what I mean? Because I do believe, from, a handshake to intercourse, power and energy is exchanged through touch. And I need to understand my energy and my power before I'm able to exchange with anybody else. So
Mm.
I'm just doing little things like that to figure out, like I said, just build that self compassion, figure out who I am, and move on from this. Because like I said, it's for 26 years I've been breathing dirty air, and I got a I got a whiff of it, a whiff of fresh air not too long ago, and it scared the shit out of me, but I liked it, so I'm gonna
Mm.
try my best to get more of it.
I feel you. That's
So,
yeah.
yeah,
That's powerful. That's moving. Um,
thank you.
yeah. I mean, like I think you're taking like the proper steps, and there's a lot to unpack. And I think it starts with, like you said, a lot of self compassion and kind of like channeling that resentment that you may feel towards yourself and others.
Yeah,
Especially because this person, or one of the people that has affected you like this is still like around, like you see them occasionally, right?
I
So
don't even fuck with my family no more. Outside of
yeah,
my sister and my nieces,
yeah, there's no
I
need
don't.
to.
Uh,
Yeah.
it was
Do
like
you?
go ahead.
Oh, no, 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 I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was like I don't know. The day my mom died, I just kind of, like I was like I said, outside of my sister and my nieces. The day my mom died, those my sister and my nieces is my only family to me, and that's just how I roll right now. I don't know too much about my dad's side of the family. I just know a lot of them are dead right now, so I don't really do much over there. Uh, I have a few cousins and uncles and aunts on my mom's side, but I don't really want anything to do with them, because
Yeah.
I feel like as a family community, as a unit, as a clan, it was, everybody knew, everybody knows, but nobody did anything.
Mm.
And I have a lot of resentment and anger in my heart for that. Um, I can forgive them, but I can't forget it. You know what I mean? But it's just I can't fuck with them.
Yeah. Have you like what are some of the things that you're looking forward to like implementing or doing as part of like your new way of like dealing with these things? Um,
I've been
like this, for example, like this is
yeah,
something that you could have talked yourself out of, but we've had this scheduled for a while and we followed through and you're here, we're having this conversation. You could have, said, nah, I don't want to talk about this or let's talk about something else, but
right,
you're doing it. So
right.
what are some other things that you are like pushing forward on? Or
Um,
if you don't know, what are
I've been.
some ideas that you've been thinking about?
I mean, when it comes to me personally, I've been running more. So I wake up. I'm doing stupid shit now. So I'm taking cold showers for the last 2 months. I'm taking cold showers. I don't take hot showers anymore. I sleep on the floor. I've been running. I run, four times out of the week. I've been waking up at 4:30 a.m. Um, it's I think trying to channel that energy that I had into other things is being beneficial for me. Um, but at the same time, I lose my focus easily. You know what I mean? It's like I'll be working on a project or something. I'll be out running, and you know, a thought will pop in my head that'll just like fucking ruin it for me at that moment. And like for the next 3 to 4 hours, I'm just a fucking I'm just a ball of depression,
Right. And do you channel
and that
that
just
towards other emotions? Like, do you find yourself getting more grumpy, more like snappy with people? And
not towards people, because I try to control myself around people. When I do get grumpy, I try to do it, when I'm by myself, and I slap walls like door sills and shit. I try not to punch anything because I don't want to hit a hole or nothing. So I just open hands, slap some door sills, or I'll beat my chest a little bit and do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, and fucking living that quarantine prisoner life right now. In my little room. So
yeah, yeah, bro. I don't know, man. I just want I want you to know too, just from the outside, that like if you feel like you're not like, for lack of better words, normal,
yeah,
um, like just to give you confidence as a friend, like you are you are, and like that, just think of the things that you've been through as an experience that, like, we've all been through different things, positive and negative, to different
definitely,
scales, and I
definitely. And
think like
I'm not saying my shit's any worse than anybody else's shit, but it's just the shit that I have to walk through.
right, and it's not that you don't have to even justify it like that. It's more so take the fact that you've been through this. It's kind of like you've gone through these different levels. If life is like a video game, your difficulty is set a little bit different than someone else that hasn't gone through this. But you're here where you're
Right.
at. You're here where you're at now. Um, so it makes you like I'm big on, like, I know a few people who've gone through experiences like this, and I think that's the more that I get to know people, even though I've never thought I'd have this conversation with you. It lets me know like why the term survivor is used. You feel me? Um,
Yeah.
so, and I think
Mhm.
talking about it is a big is a big part of it, and I think like especially when it comes to like adulthood and like dating, that's something that's might be like you said, you're going through this recent heartbreak, and at the end you look at it and you're like, I don't even know if the feelings were mutual, you
Yeah.
know. So it kind of makes it
But
makes it feel kind of trivial. Like, what am I even tripping on this for?
yeah, but I think it's that regret
Yeah.
that got me because I have no problem, talking to females and you know getting what I need out of it at the time. But it's something about this particular one where I felt dirty, and I felt like if I brought this to her life, I don't know what's going on in her life, you know what I mean? But I felt like I would just be dirtying up her life, and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of one of those things like when you at what point in the relationship do you bring this up?
Right.
Yeah, it's that's something that I'm not a dating expert, so I don't know.
And
Um,
you had me fooled for a minute, bro. I was taking notes.
yeah, but what I think you should do is this: go on. No, I don't know.
It's, what's the fucking app called? I don't know, man.
I don't know. I've been in a relationship for a long time. I missed the online dating wave.
Oh, okay, okay, I got you.
I don't know what any of these apps
just
are.
just text me that list later.
Nah,
For sure, I'm just fucking with you, man. But yeah, I think that's it, man. I don't really want to talk about it no more. And, I definitely appreciate, you know, my tens of twenties of listeners out there who took the time to hear this out. And um, I mean, if you guys are going through anything, I definitely do agree with seeking out help, seeking out a therapist or whatnot.
mm-hmm.
It's helped me, and I don't know, it can help you too. But I definitely appreciate you too, JMKM, for taking the time to listen to me, bitch, or whatnot, for the past 45 minutes or so. And
Get your shit together,
uh,
man.
hey, that's what we're working on, right?
You got this. You got this. Is what
For sure.
do you have any advice for anyone that's gone through something similar, like that has been, thinking aside from, talking to somebody, but anything you'd
Yeah.
like to share or anything you'd like to tell yourself, maybe of 6 months ago, of a year ago?
It's it's not your fault. It's not your fault. So you don't blame yourself for the people who abuse their power and their authority on you. Um, that's something that I didn't get till recently.
Yeah.
But just yeah, it's not your fault. Just know that, you know what I mean. It's yeah,
There you go.
that's it.
There it is. Well, thank you for sharing, man. I mean, for me to play co-host here, thank you for allowing me to be on this platform, and um, for everyone
Um,
listening, feel free to reach out to like a friend, a loved one, to to talk about it if you feel like it. I think I think you're
You
right,
know,
dude.
write it down. Write it down. You know, when you feel comfortable, talk to somebody you care about, and you know, don't hold it in no more. Don't it's toxic. It's definitely a toxic feeling.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing, man. Any last words to like send us out?
Just tap into your potential.